Hey guys, welcome back to Kendi Beauty. So today we're going to be getting into the deceit, the trickery, and just some releases in general regarding the Natasha Denona Plexi Glow situation, mini pastel release, and then also the Pat McGrath Star Wars release. If you guys are new here, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Tap the bell so you can be notified of all the new upcoming videos, and let's get right into this. So also a side note, Vlogmas is still going on. It probably will be more towards the end of January, if not the whole month of January now. The giveaway is not closed. All you have to do is comment on every video in December and January and give it a thumbs up. There might be some trivia questions. Like I've said before, it's going to be a huge giveaway. I have a huge toe that is like bigger than my body of makeup that'll probably last one or two winners close to a year's worth of beauty makeup items. So anyway, I would love to have you guys subscribe. Make sure you're publicly subscribed to the channel, comment every video between December and January, and like every video, and that's it. You're entered. Okay. And there might be some trivia questions, like I said, but they won't be hard. So just make sure you're watching the videos all the way through. Okay, so let's get to the meat and the potatoes of this whole video. First of all, who has picked up the Natasha Denona Mini Pastel launch with the Mini Pastel palette and the Plexi Glow highlighter? You guys, I was so close to grabbing this collection, and something just told me, like, the thing that really gravitated me towards the collection was the highlighter. It wasn't the palette. Like, the palette looks cute, but I feel like it's nothing I don't already have in my collection from Natasha Denona. They are 5 new shades in this mini palette. They are 5 brand new shades, so it's not like it's repeat shades. So if you are sort of newer to Natasha Denona, you might want to pick this palette up. Or if you're really into like those pastel shimmers, you might want to pick this up. There's only one matte, which is a little disappointing to me. And I also just feel like there is a lack of transparency. I don't want to call it deceitfulness, because we'll get into that with Pat McGrath, but there is definitely a lack of transparency in the marketing. I think we as consumers need to keep in mind that these makeup brands are trying to sell makeup. And the unfortunate part is we have grown to love and trust Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath, for so long now, that we just kind of blindly believe without checking the facts. It's kind of like if you call up a pizza place and just say, I want a pizza, and you forget to say, I want a cheese pizza, I want a pepperoni pizza, or you ask the questions, what kind of specials do you have? What kind of toppings do you have? Like, I feel like that's what we are doing as a consumer. And, even us content creators, I think kind of got the wool pulled over our eyes with this release. I've seen some creators do reviews and they're just like, okay, like, this is nice, but it's nothing special. I did sort of try to wait, because here's the other thing. It's FOMO, right? Pre-order. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to pre-order from Beautylish because everything's online. I can't really see anything in person. I quite honestly would prefer if Natasha Denona would do these type of launches with like Sephora, so that I could, which typically she does. And that's another thing. Typically she does. The Glam Face palettes, most of her launches, the Glam Retro palette, you can go into Sephora and look at these products. I thought it was very suspicious or kind of unusual, and it could just be a contractual thing because these makeup brands contract with the sellers, whether they're like Sephora or Beautylish. So it could have just been coincidence and it was Beautylish's turn, you know what I mean? Or I think there was another retailer too that might have had access to it first. And it could have just been pure coincidence, okay? Let's give Natasha Denona the benefit of the doubt. It could have just been pure luck, pure coincidence that this time Beautylish, which is only an online retailer as far as I know, had this launch available first, besides Natasha Denona's site. And the thing is, with a launch like this, and Natasha Denona, as far as I know, has never done any sort of lack of transparency with her products like this before, where you look at the pictures and the marketing and the Photoshop and you think, it's not even Photoshop, because I've seen the highlighter in person now, like on people's reviews. Teresa's dad did a great review. There's a couple of other content creators that have had their reviews up, and some are really happy with this collection and some are disappointed. And I think it just kind of goes back to what you're looking for in this collection. For me, it was the highlighter. Like, I thought that shifty, the way the highlighter looks in person is it's like 3 different tones. You have like a greenish, sort of goldish, sort of silver in the middle, then like a darker green, and then you have like that pink. And so it appears that it's either an overspray or I don't know what it is, because whatever is going on there, whether it is the true color of the highlighter, when applied, there is no shift. It is just your normal champagne gold highlighter, which again, my main thing for this release, what really got me excited is like, oh my gosh, that highlighter, like that's awesome. I've never seen her come up. I'm kind of bored with Natasha's highlighters, to be quite honest. They're not really like pats where they like have the different formulas. Like pretty much her formula is the same unless it's a cream formula. And usually they all tend to veer on like the gold side, whether it's a light gold, a medium gold. And it's just like, I was happy and excited that I thought Natasha Denona was switching it up and giving us like this kind of like indie vibe, like shifty kind of iridescent holographic highlighter with the pink to the green. Only to see, and again, if I had that FOMO, and a lot of times I will do this for you guys because I am a review channel, or I am like a makeup channel, and I'm like, okay, I need to get this, I need to pre-order so I can get this so you guys can decide whether you want to get it, you know? And there's beauty in that for you guys. But then there's like, you know, us creators that we don't always know what we're getting sometimes. Now, I took the time before I pre-ordered and I watched some of her, she had started to come out with some reels like a few days later. She had started to come out with some tutorial reels where she was applying it on the models. And I noticed, I'm like, this is just like a regular highlighter. There's no shift. Then some people started coming out with reviews like on YouTube. And I'm like, yeah, that's all this is. And I just don't think that, again, I wouldn't consider it deceitful. I do consider it trickery because here's the thing. For people that are just blind and Natasha Denona fans that don't really know makeup that well, or just consumers in general that don't have channels, like you're just going to look at this highlighter and think, oh my gosh, I have to get it. And the palette as well. Like I feel like some of the early images that had the palette on there was like a shifty pinky, the shifty pinky color. Whereas in fact, when applying that pale pink shimmer, it's just a regular shimmer. There's no shift. So I feel like we reduced twice, like once in the palette with it seeming like that was a shifty shade. And I could be wrong. I don't have these products in my hand, but from what I've seen and what I've researched, that's what it is. And yeah, I mean, the palette is beautiful, but it's nothing special. The special thing was the highlighter and the shift shade in the palette, and that's not seeming to exist. So to me, I don't think it's like fair. Like I don't think it's fair that I feel like she knows we love and trust her brand, and I just kind of feel like, okay, I get trying to sell products, but at some point you could have come out and said like, this highlight, like, or even a little disclaimer, this highlighter appears to be color shifting. However, it is just like a mono, it is just single tone. There's no shift, like something like little like that, I think was necessary and should be added to the marketing campaign, in my opinion. Because consumers that are not very knowledgeable or about makeup or just look at a picture, like again, me included, I looked at the picture and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have that highlighter. Like people like that that aren't going to look twice at things, aren't going to question, which is the majority of us, right? We're just going to get excited about something and order it. But like, honestly, who has the money to be tricked? And why should we be tricked? Why can't we have that, you know, accountability or disclaimers saying this is not what it appears to be? Or like, you know, although the highlighter looks like there are 3 colors, there's only something just like professional and little would have been really helpful in my opinion, instead of us all kind of being disappointed. All right, that brings me into our next launch, which it's been a while since we've done these videos, right? This is more of like, oh, why should you not buy it? Let's be honest. The Pat McGrath Star Wars. Like, they're not new palettes, it looks like. The sticker comes off. Like, I am sorry, but Pat, come on. Come on, Pat. Like, if you're going to recycle old inventory, at least have a new outside packaging. At least do that. They're single pans. You can put your single pans, you know, of stocked up inventory that you have. At least create a new package for people that are paying $128 for this palette. At least do it. What she should have done, she should have come out with a brand new formula of those shades if that's what she wanted to do. Quite honestly, I think that doing Midnight Sun or whatever the palette's called, because I don't have it, because I never got that one. I never got that mothership because the quality was supposed to be horrible. Why would you do that? Like, if I was Star Wars or Disney or whoever, I would be ticked off. Like, why would, and again, it's probably not her, it's probably her team, but why would they be that, like, I mean, they had to have known people were going to figure this out. Or do they really just think that we're that, like GAGA over Pat McGrath? Do these high-end brands, these luxury brands, really think that we're just so thirsty that we're just going to slap up whatever gush that they put in our, like, which, again, kind of points me back into the direction. Like, I don't want this to be a negative video, but I think we as consumers, we as makeup buyers, need to ask more questions, need to hold some of these brands when they do, and I believe we are, from what I've seen, there's quite an uproar. I think people are pretty ticked off. But quite honestly, just to put things in check and perspective, it's not, you know, it's not the brand's fault entirely, because there are loopholes. They can do this kind of stuff. But if we as consumers are asking the questions and holding them to be accountable, then there's some sort of checks and balances. Like, and maybe we did write to Pat McGrath. Maybe we did DM them or ask them in the comments, are these new palettes? Maybe we did. But I just think, like, going forward, there needs to be definitely more transparency from the brands. And I honestly think the Pat McGrath situation is worse than the Natasha Denona situation. Natasha Denona just didn't give us all the information up front. Pat McGrath actually was more deceitful in the fact that they put a sticker covering up the palette. And maybe the brand will come forward and shed some light and say, no, these were manufactured on this date. These are brand new questions or brand new palettes that we did produce for the start. Maybe that's the case, but why wouldn't they emboss the case? Like, there's so much they could have done with the packaging than just a stupid sticker. And like, I would think that their team would be clever enough to realize that if these were newer palettes of the sun and they were to put a sticker on them, that, like, we would be outraged, because we would think that. We've known for how many, like a year now, a year and a half, she's had the sun palette on sale. We know she's been trying to get rid of this inventory, right? They need to stop this crap. Like, it needs to stop. It needs to stop. There needs to be a check on the markup of the makeup, these sales that just keep going on and going on. Hey, I'm all about a sale, but don't give us a sale on something. If you're gonna have a palette discounted, keep it discounted until you sell it out. Don't discount it, then raise the price for 6 months, then discount it again, and then re-release it with a sticker. Like, come on. Like, it's honestly gotten out of hand. It's gotten out of hand, in my opinion. And I think it's because we are just so like, we'll just slap it up. Whatever, not me personally. I have been disenchanted by Pat McGrath's releases for about a year and a half now. I've just been like, what is this? This isn't the normal Pat McGrath that I'm used to. Like, if I'm going to pay these $128 prices, I want the astral shades. I want the beautifulness in the original motherships that we're all used to. And I think that we're just so, like, as a makeup community, and it's channel's fault in a way, because we're so quick to just buy everything to review it for you guys, that has become like a lack of accountability with the brands. And I think the first step is, you guys as consumers, stop buying. Don't just buy every Pat McGrath palette unless you really like love it. You know, I get it that people are collectors and stuff, but if you think a collection is just lackluster, and this is what I've started doing, and I'm not perfect either, but if you think something is lackluster, don't just get it because it's a high-end brand. You know what I mean? Like, say, I think this kind of looks more like this brand, and should I be paying over $100 for this release? Like, I just think that we need to sort of, as a society, as a community, like, take a step back. Like, Pat McGrath and Natasha Denona, yes, they have come out with beautiful, timeless, classic products that will never be replicated, that no other brand could produce. However, they still need to be put in check sometimes. You know what I mean? We still need to put them in check sometimes. All right, so that is my rants. Please comment down below all of you guys' thoughts, whether you got the Star Wars and are loving it. I passed on both of these collections for now. I might decide to pick some things up. Quite honestly, I wasn't a fan of anything that the Star Wars collection had. I just thought it looked boring and it wasn't innovative. Natasha Denona, I was really on the fence about. And then I saw more and I was like, I'm going to hold off. And I may still get this launch, you know. But let's take a look now at some other new launches and just kind of move on, because that was a little heavy, I know, right? Okay, and what is on my face today? I have some HAUS foundation. I have the Wet n Wild Peanuts eyeshadow collection on. I'm doing a review on that, so make sure you check that out. The Valentino Born Aroma blush. I have the Pat McGrath Holiday Highlighter and the Too Faced Diamond Highlighter. I have the Too Faced Cocoa Bold on the lips, and the HAUS Labs powder, and my MAC Studio Fix powder, and my Milani refresher, whatever this thing is called, spray. So, and my Melt Cosmetics on the brows as well. Yeah. All right, so Kosas is coming out with new baked blushes. I haven't even had a chance to try out their like cloud baked powder, which everybody's raved about. I feel maybe I did and I just don't remember. If I did, I didn't like it and I was like, what's all the hype about? And if I didn't, like, I need to try it. I'm not blown away with the swatch on this. Oh, I should probably move over here a little bit more. I'm not blown away with the swatch on this. But it's supposed to have squalane, hyaluronic acid, passion fruit. So I feel like it would be very like lifting and nourishing for the skin. Those are, there's no price, but coming soon. Morphe came out with their Ultra Lavender collection. Let me know if you guys want to see a review on that. I'm kind of feeling that. Like, I love purple, so I'm kind of feeling that collection. Unearthly, it's available on Ulta and Morphe.com. Unearthly's Cosmetics is doing a pre-order for their Valentine's Day mystery boxes. I've heard great things about their boxes. I just haven't pulled the trigger because, like, I just got some stuff which I might include in a giveaway that she did like a last minute sort of video thing on. So I'm excited to see with the old branding on it. So I'm excited to see what that box is going to be like. But I've heard really good things about their boxes. It says it's valued at $115. It's $100 US, and it will not contain any past or currently available items. So it's all new items, which is kind of also exciting. I'm still on the fence with that. NARS is coming out with their NARS powders, Soft Matte Advanced Perfecting Powder. It's a multi-purpose skin perfecting powder that blurs imperfections, smooths the look of skin, controls shine, and sets makeup for 24 hours. It's a medium coverage with a matte finish, $36. This is going to be available January 13th. It looks like on NARS and Sephora site. I also saw a sneak peek of it. They're coming out with a new Orgasm palette and then also an Orgasm face palette, which I'm very intrigued by. Probably already have from them like 1,000 shades over in other face palettes, but we'll see. These powders though, I am really tempted to pick up. It looks like there's a good shade range, and I've been really liking my MAC powder lately. Powder foundation, so I feel like this would be like really good. So I kind of want to try this. What do you guys think about this release? Let me know down in the comments below. Charlotte, darling, Shars is coming out with new highlighters. I believe this is, I forget where is the date on this. They're $48 each. It looks like there's 7 shades. They look gorge. I'm really excited about these. I definitely want to test these out. I really loved her Beautifying face palettes she came out with for the holidays, so I'm on board for that. Don't know if I'll get it right away. I might wait till it comes to Sephora. I don't know. Sometimes I like to wait on stuff, even though I know I'm going to get it. Too Faced came out with a whole new collection, the Pinkier Times, I believe, ahead. The palette looks super cute. The highlighter looks cute. The blushes look cute. And then there's like a chocolate brown mascara. What are you guys' thoughts on this? I'm half tempted to pick some of these items up. The blushes look really, really nice. I don't know. What do you guys think? I need your help. Wet n Wild released a bunch of new makeup. Like lip balms. I don't know if I'll pick any of those items up. It'll depend. ColourPop is releasing a new collection with, I've never even heard of this, Win X Club. And then they also released, which these are in Ulta, these Sage the Day and Petals and Point pressed powder palettes. Yeah, again, the ColourPop, the Sage the Day, that collection kind of looks boring. I'll have to see. There's not like much on the Win X Club one, so I'll have to see more about that. I have been really into ColourPop lately. Like their end of year launches have been really, really impressive and wowing me. So we already talked about Natasha Denona. Dior is coming out with a new blurring matte primer and then Forever Glow Feel Primer. They both retail for $50. I would definitely not be interested. See, I wish the Glow Feel one had like the tan cream base or the beige base, but it's the white base. See, I don't need a matte primer. I'm not really about that life. I have dry skin, but the Glow one, if it came to Sephora, I might be about that. $50 though. Oh my gosh, the prices have just gone. Even indie makeup, the prices have gone crazy up. Like, I wanted to get that Inslee Rain palette, the winter, whatever. It looked so beautiful, and I was gonna get it, and then I was like, oh my god, $88. Like, that's crazy to me. That's more than Natasha Denona like palettes. Like, I don't know. I just feel like indie has been really up there in price, and I wish it would come back down because I really love indie makeup for the most part. Juvia's Place is coming out with a candy shop collection, which looks really neat. However, their shipping has been like crazy, and it's not available at Ulta lately. So I was gonna get that, but now I'm kind of like, I don't know. And then they also came out with a powder foundation and a radiance foundation, which the shade range looks amazing. Tons of shades. It's $23 though. When did Juvia's Place prices get like this much? The foundation is $23. It comes in 30 shades, and the powder foundation is $18 and comes in 20 shades. I don't know. I just feel like, I guess it's still less, but when did Juvia's Place get like up there in price like that? That's what I want to know. Okay, Touch of Glam Beauty is releasing their Not Your Basic Batch Multi-Shifter Palette January 1st, which is, I feel like, already passed or gonna pass. Ooh, ooh. This looks beautiful. These swatches look beautiful, don't get me wrong, but $160? Only to, see, and this is like with code $136. Like, what? It's 9 pans, you guys. I'm sorry. Like, this is what I'm talking about with the indie makeup. Like, yeah, that looks gorgeous, but like these prices, come on. That is ridiculous. And then if you are not an affiliate or you don't get PR, like, then usually you have to wait. I mean, I don't know about Touch of Glam, but typically with indie, you have to wait quite a long time to receive your shipping confirmations and emails. And it's like, and orders and deliveries, sorry, emails. And if you're paying that much, like, I just feel like I would rather like go mainstream and get stuff sort of more right away, you know, not always guaranteed, but even mainstream has their issues. Okay. I think that is really like, we talked about the MAC Lunar Unit. Oh, I did see, by the way, I did see the Charlotte's New Year collection in my Sephora, and it's really just packaging. Like, that's, everything is like the same. I don't think there's any new items, and it looks gorgeous, but it's like, do you need this? Like, we already have all of her products. So I did just want to let you guys know I was able to see that. And speaking of Sephora, they have these cute little destination collection palettes that are super affordable, and quite honestly, they look like great quality. They look like really good quality. I've been really, really impressed with Sephora collection items, their blushes, their foundation, their concealer. They're even like some of their highlighters for like the last year or two. Some of their eyeshadow palettes, but it's hit or miss with the eyeshadow palettes. Really, really good. And then Sugar Drizzle Polish is coming out with a new Trash palette, which is all multi-chrome shimmers, 12 pans. It's pretty affordable, I think. I don't remember it being like crazy expensive. But see, for me, I like to have like, I like those shades, like those putty, you know, shifty, like moist sort of shades, but I like a matte or two with them. So that's kind of what's holding me back from getting that. I do want to get into Sugar Drizzle Polish. Also, Simply Posh Cosmetics restocked their Icy Chill and their Northern Lights, and I don't know if they're still available, but they were. And then I don't have any pictures to show you, but it's Belle Cosmetics, which I'm a huge fan of their products because they're affordable and they're beautiful. Like, they're that same like adept quality. Like, a lot of these indie brands now have that same sort of formula, like the putty like multi-duochromes that are like a wetter consistency, very shifty shades. But It's Belle Cosmetics is very reasonably priced compared to some other brands. So just, you know, keep that in mind when you're shopping these indie palettes. Like, some of them will make their shadows from scratch and that's why their prices are higher. But some of them still like will get stuff from overseas and charge these really high prices. And it's kind of like, okay, well, this is the same formula I'm getting in this brand, but this is $30 to $40 and you guys are charging like $80 to $100, you know? I don't know. Again, though, it could be a different formula, but a lot of it seems like it's very similar, if not the same. So yeah, I think that is it as far as like what we needed to catch up on release-wise. And I might pick up a few of these. I think, like I said, like this was more of like a should you not buy it type of a video this time. I'm just a little disappointed, you know, right now, but I think things will sort of turn the other way. And I'm also just like, kind of like, why are we having this many releases still? Like, even last year with Bridgerton, even last year, we did not have this many releases right before Christmas, right after Christmas, before New Year's, right after New, like, this is kind of crazy. Like, things need to slow down because I don't understand what brands are missing. Like, I don't, and maybe I'm wrong, but like, we're not getting stimulus checks anymore. Like, I don't think people have all this money to buy release after release anymore. So why are the brands just throwing it at us? Like, literally, like, this is how it was pre-COVID days with the releases. And I thought things were gonna go back to like normal, where it was less, not less, but like more thought out releases, less quantity, more quality. And I'm still not seeing that. I'm still just seeing like too much quantity, too less of quality. And then we have like the trickery mixed in. So anyways, like I said, this is more of like a should you buy it kind of a video, but let me know what you guys like. And I'm sure there's tons of releases I haven't covered. So don't be shy. Drop it down below. Let me know. Like I said, the giveaway is going to be videos, comment and like videos December and January. Make sure you're publicly subscribed, and that'll probably end towards the end of January at this point because I'm behind. And I'll be like doing videos here and there, and this video should have posted before Christmas, and now it's like a week after, so it'll be kind of crazy. But I had to get wrapping and decorating done. I had to at some point, so forgive me. I had to take a little breather. But yeah, as always, let me know down below. Sorry about the construction. It's like 60 degrees here today, and it's almost January, so I don't get it, but people are doing construction on New Year's Eve. Let me know down in the comments below, and happy holidays, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.